Hey guys, welcome to the Google Calendar tutorial for beginners. And if you want to level up your productivity with the Google Calendar, you have come to the right place. Today, I'm going to talk about how to add events, how to edit events, how to add guests to your event, how to share your calendar, and how to change your calendar settings, among other things. So let's get straight into it. If you have signed in to your Google account, then you will see your image or profile photo appear at the top right hand side, such as here. And for accessing calendar, you can either click on the Google Apps icon here and go on calendar, or type calendar in Google to access the same. Now what you can see here is the default application of Google Calendar, and this is the default calendar application, and this is how it appears when you open Google Calendar for the first time. And this is the Google Calendar dashboard, and this is how it looks. And for example, it opens up with a week-wise view, and for changing the view, you can click on week here at the top right hand side of the screen, and there are different options and you can change each of these options to go more granular, or to take a more bird's eye view of your tasks in Google Calendar. So let's say if you go on day, it will show you a day-wise list of all your events and tasks. If you go on week, which is the default view of Google Calendar, it will show you the week-wise view. If you click on month, it will show you the month-wise view. If you click on year, it will show you the year-wise view. And if you click on schedule, it will basically show you the schedule. It will not show you all the days, but it will show you the days on only when you have some things to do, some events to attend, or some tasks to complete. I like to keep it on the month view, so I don't have to go very granular, or I don't have to go on a year-wise view, and I can see nicely on where I have to prioritize my time and spend most of my time. As I told you, this is the default view which shows you the week tasks. This is the settings cog, in which you can go to settings and you can print your calendar. You can get add-ons which are compatible with Google Calendar, and you can edit the density and color according to your preferences. This is the search option, and if you click on it, you can search anything on the search bar of Google Calendar. Let's say you have a task that you remember but you can't see in the calendar, so you just search that task here and it will show you the respective task in the Google Calendar and when it is due. I will use this feature and show you in some time. As we go to the left, you can see a month-wise view here. So as this is the month of June, you can see the month of June, and you can see the month-wise view here. I can toggle on to the next month or the month previous to see it how this month is relative to the last month or the next month. This is searching for people, and this gives you an option for searching for people that are in your contacts list and viewing their calendars. These are the calendars that Google has created from first, and these are the calendars which are available originally. And this is my calendar, this is the contacts calendar which Google has created, this is the reminders calendar, and this is the tasks calendar. If you go down, you can see other calendars here. So these are other calendars which I do not own, but these have been shared with me. So what I can do is I can see them by clicking on them, and so all these boxes are checked, which means that every event on all these calendars should be visible on my on the right hand side. But if I uncheck some of the boxes, so the respective events on these calendars will not be available or cannot be seen on the right hand side. to make them available again, I will check them, and then they will be available here again. Since this is a fresh view, I have not created any tasks or reminders or events, so it is appearing, the right hand side space is appearing empty. If you go over to the right hand side, Google Calendar has Google Keep, which is Google Notes, and Google Tasks integrated within Google Calendar. And if you want to create some tasks, you can create it on Google Calendar itself. And if you have the mobile app for Google Tasks or Google Keep, they will be automatically updated in that. Also, the format and style of the mobile app of Google Calendar is similar, very similar to that of the desktop version, so you will not face any problems in kind of seeing this stuff here and applying it there. What I do is I create my weekly or monthly schedule on the desktop app, and then I use my mobile app for notifications or seeing the stuff that I have to do. So let us start by creating some tasks, events, or reminders. So let's first switch this to a month view so that I can see the tasks that I have to do in the month of, let's say, July, because there is no tasks. As I told you, this calendar Holidays in India has been shared with me, and there is a holiday on the 31st of July, which is Eid, and that is where this is showing. And if I uncheck this box, that holiday disappears, and if I check this again, then the holiday appears. You notice that the event is the same as the color of the calendar, and if I wish to change the color coding, I can change it by clicking on the right hand side and clicking on the button or the color that I want to change to. So if I wanted to change to tangerine, I can click this, and then all events that I create in Holidays in India will be of the color tangerine. This is a very good and nifty trick of separating out your calendars. So for example, if you want your work calendar to be different from that of your personal one, you can make different calendars and give them different colors, so you can prioritize them easily. So now let's say that I have joined a swimming class on Friday, which is weekly, and then I have to go to the gym on Saturday, which is weekly. So let us start with creating a weekly event for swimming on Friday and for gymming on Saturday for July. So what I do is I go on to the first Friday in July, that is the 3rd, and I click on here. If I do a single click, this will remind me, or this will open a small window in which I can quickly populate some information and create a task. But if I want to access more options, I can click on more options, which will open a new window where I can access more options. So as you can see, I have the option, and what I will do is I will populate the option and I will write go for swimming. So this is an event, and the next option is this an all day event or not? So because this is not an all day event, this will probably be an hour or two in the evening. So I will uncheck this box, and as soon as I uncheck this box, an option of time appears here, and if I click the time, I can set the time according to my preference. So I will set this from 5 to 6 p.m., which is 1 hour. I can also change the time zone from here, but as the time zone is what I want, I will leave that as it is. Now the next option is I can say if this task repeats or not. So If this task repeats daily, I'll click on daily. If this is weekly on Friday, I'll click on Friday. If this is monthly on the first Friday, I will click on this. If it is annually, I'll click on this. If it is every weekday, I'll click on this. Otherwise, I can also choose a custom setting for repeating, and if I click on this, it will open up a box where I can custom set the repeat frequency. So as I wanted to set on weekly on Friday, I will click here, and this task, that this event will be populated weekly on every Friday. So for event details, the next option, the first one is add Google Meet video conferencing, and this is a good option if you want to do a video conference, if you're creating an appointment with someone in the office or with friends or with family. While creating the event, you can add your Google Meet app here and click on this to set up a meeting in the event itself and share the details as such. So Google has made it super easy for you to use Google Meet, and it is free for everyone, and anyone can use it for doing video conferences with up to 100 people. You can also add, I will leave this empty because I don't need to video conference while I'm swimming. And for add location, I will add the location. If I want to add the location, if I want to see it on a GPS, or if I want to add a guest and he doesn't know the location, so he can add the location. So I've added a location here. It automatically populates, and the next option is for notifications. So if I want an email reminding me, if I'm the forgetful types, I can use this option to send an email at the time I want me to. So let's say I want Google to send me an email 15 minutes ago, or hours or days or weeks depending on my preferences, and I also want Google to send me a notification 30 minutes ago. I can update and choose according to my preferences in this particular section, or if I want only one notification, I can delete this and I can let this be. Or I can also add another notification to here if I am the forgetful types. Here, this is the default color which has been assigned to the calendar, but if I want, I can also change the color according to my preference. So I can click here and change any color, but usually I leave this as is because this color is coded according to the calendar, and then I have more visibility on the type of calendar that I want my events to be in. The next option is showing you the visibility. So it shows that you are busy here or free here, and the default visibility is set to public. This will be the visibility that you have set on the calendar level, and if it is public or private, you can change it here. And if the default visibility is public, it will show as busy every day, every week on Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. in the month of July. And if you have set it as private, then no one will be able to see. Here you can add the description for the task, for the event. So for example, the event is swimming, so I put up a description: go for swimming, do 3 laps, do 4 styles, and so on. And here I can add an attachment, and I can use other formatting options to richly populate my event. On the right hand side, I can add guests. So if I want to add someone to go swimming with me, what I can do is I can add the guest, as you can see. So I have added the guest, and if I want this guy to come with me to swimming, I have added a guest here, and then the calendar is not being shown Here this guy's calendar is not shown because he's not given the permission to share the calendar. And then I can add or remove guests from here. And then after I'm done with all of this, I click on save, and then it gives me an option of sending an invitation email to the guests I've added. And if you're setting up a meeting, it is better to send out that invitation so that others know that you have blocked the time. So I click on send, and now this event has been created, as you can see, on Friday at 5 p.m. weekly. Similarly, I will quickly create another event on Saturday for gymming. So I will go to more options. I will say go for gymming, and because it is not an all-day event, I set the time again from 5 to 6 p.m. I'm doing this fast because I have done this before, and then I will add the location again for a guest who doesn't know where this will be, and I only want one notification for this, so I delete one thing and I add some information and I show it as busy, and again I add a guest here, and I click on save, and I send the invitation emails, and I click on send. So here you can, as you can see, so we were in July, and here as you can see another event has been created which is called Go for Gymming, and this has been created one time because I did not repeat this event. So now the next step comes how to edit the events. So for that, what we'll do is we'll double click on Go for Gymming event, and here we will select weekly on Saturday as we wanted, and as soon as we did that, we can click save, and it will give another option which will be sending update emails to the guests, and I would also recommend doing that so the guests know that it is a weekly event. And we can add an optional message here which says updated event details, and we send. And now you can see we have edited the event which says Go for Gymming every Saturday. Now if we want to edit this event again, we can double click on this, we can add guests, we can modify notifications, we can modify the status being busy or free, we can modify the timings, and so on and so forth. There are some other actions also that we can do. We can print out this event, we can delete this event, we can duplicate this event, we can publish this event, we can publish an instant of the event to another calendar, or we can change the owner of the event. So these are some options that we can play with in the event section. And now these are two events that have been created, one for swimming and another for gymming. Now let's say that I have to create a reminder for myself to go for swimming. So what I do is I can create a reminder by clicking here, and then we have three options: event, reminder, and task. I will click on reminder, and as you can see the reminder is created in a tangerine color because the reminder calendar here appears in a tangerine color. Another thing you might notice that the holidays in India also is in a tangerine color, so you want to make sure that all your calendars have different colors to avoid confusion. So this doesn't have as many options as the event. This just says add title, it specifies the date, and it specifies all day or at a particular time. Also, it specifies on repeat or not repeat, and I will click on not repeat, or what I will do is I will click this on weekly on Friday so that I'm sent a reminder at 12 p.m. or let's say at 11:45 p.m. to say that go to swim, and I will click on save. And as I can see here, another weekly event has been created which will tell me at 11:45 p.m. to go for swimming. I think I've created this event after the swimming event. I created this reminder after the swimming event, so I will just edit reminder and I will change the time for 11:45 a.m. instead of 11:45 p.m. and I will edit this for all the following reminders, and I will click on OK, and this is changed, and as you can see, the order also changes. The main difference between a reminder and an event is that if you do not personally go and check off the reminder, it will come again on the next day. So you for making sure that the reminder has been done, you have to personally go into the reminder and you have to click on mark as done, and then only it disappears. Otherwise it keeps appearing the basic purpose of what reminders are meant to do. So I can create similar reminders for gymming, and I can see them when I open my Google Calendar. The difference between the reminder and the notification is the notification will not be visible on my calendar, but the reminder will. So if I check my calendar daily, I can include a reminder instead of a notification so that I can see that I have to go for a swim. The next option is creating a task, and this is different from an event and reminder in the sense that this is a to-do list that you can do. So for example, let me create a to-do list which says shop for swim and gym, and this is the task, and since it will take me a lot of time to buy all my swimming merchandise and gymming merchandise, so this task is for all day. So I can add in description here which says buy gym merch, buy swim merch, and so on, and I can click on save. You can also select the date here, but as I clicked on July 2nd, the date is automatically populated. You cannot repeat tasks or do create something like reminders and events when you're creating a task. And this is the difference between an event and a reminder and a task, that you cannot repeat a task. And as soon as I click on save, you can see the colors for the tasks calendar and the event matches, and as soon as I click on it, I can see that it says shop for swimming and gymming, and it gives the details here, and you can edit this task, delete this task, or mark it as complete. As soon as we mark it as complete, we can see that it visually puts a line over here and it shows as marks as complete. Now, as I told you, you can check off these boxes to see the events or tasks or reminders in calendar. So if I check off this main calendar box, you can see that the swimming and gymming events have vanished, and if I click on this, they are visible again. And if I click on the reminders calendar, the reminders have vanished, and if I click on it, they appear again. And similarly with task, as if I uncheck it, the task on July 2nd disappears, and if I click on it, it appears again. So till now I have shown you how to create an event or a task or a reminder, how to edit or delete all of them, how to see them separately, how to check and uncheck boxes for your tasks, and how to add guests or modify guests and send them notifications and send yourself notifications for the same. Now let's move on. If you want to share your calendar, so what you have to do is you have to go onto the left hand side, and let's say if you want to share your reminders calendar, you hover above this and this ellipsis options for task appears, and you click on this. And this should have settings and sharing options like this as my main calendar has. And if I click on settings and sharings, these are my settings and sharings for the task. And if I go down, you first have the name, the description, the time zone, the owner. You can export this calendar if you want to sync it with Outlook or iCal or something like that. The next is access permissions, so you can make this available to public, and if you will make it available to public, everything that you add to your calendar will be visible by Google search. So this is not a good option, so cancel this off. But if you still want to go ahead, you're a public figure, you may want to check this option. Or if you want to share that, if you want to share it with specific people, this is a better option. So what you can do is you can add people here. So I want to share it with this person, or let's say I want to share it with this person. So I put down his email and I edit permissions as per my preferences. So the first is he can only see my free or busy events. The second is he can see all event details. The third is he can make changes to the events, and fourth is he can make changes and manage sharing. So if it is depending upon the level of comfort with the person that you're sharing your calendar with, you can check either of these options, and the default is see all event details, and you can click on send. And as you can see, now the calendar has been shared with this person. So this is the event notification settings on the calendar level, and for every event that you create, these are the two basic notifications that will be created by default. And if you want to change this, you can change this here, and then it will reflect in every event that you create. These are for all the event notifications as opposed to time notifications in a day. So for this, you will receive a notification one day before, and you will also receive an email one day before at this particular time. You can edit this over here, and these are the other notifications. So you will receive email notifications or not a notification when these particular events are done, when a new event is added, when an event is changed, when an event is cancelled, when guests respond to an event, or receive a daily mail with the agenda for this calendar. You have options for integrating the calendars. If you want to integrate this calendar onto your website, so then these options are super useful. And the remove calendar option will remove this calendar from your calendar dashboard. So these are the settings for your calendar, and these are the settings for other calendars which you do not own. So if you click on this calendar, you can add the notifications, change the notifications, and you can unsubscribe from this calendar. So if you unsubscribe, this calendar will no longer be visible on your dashboard. So these are some settings, and if you want, and for calendar types, and if you want to, let's say, add another calendar, so you can click on, you can go to the left hand side and you can click on plus, and you can subscribe to a calendar, or you can create a new calendar, or you can browse your calendars of interest, or you can import it from a URL, or you can import it as well. So let's say if you want to separate your personal and professional life, you can create a new calendar known as personal, and you can color code it with a different color which will separate your personal and professional life and help you prioritize. And if you want to subscribe to another person's calendar, so you can either do it from a URL that that person has shared, or you can import that calendar by requesting for import option. So now we'll go over some other settings. I have shown you how to share a calendar, and what you can now do is you can go on the right hand side and you can go to the settings menu and you click on density and color. So you can set this according to your preferences. So as you can see, it changes slightly as I click different options here. And then I click on the settings, and I'll show you other things that you can do. So you can set your languages, you can set your country, the date format, time format, the time zone that you're in. You can have an option of showing the world clock or not. You can have your event settings here. I'm not going into all of this into detail because this is just a basic tutorial, and it's better that if you leave this as it is, because this a lot of thought has been put into this by Google. And if you have any problems or any questions regarding this, let me know in the comments and I will be sure to get back to you. So these are the settings that you can change and manipulate as per your preferences, apart from the calendar settings that I just showed you. So this is, I think, the basic tutorial for Google Calendar. And if you have seen this tutorial and if you like the content, you can subscribe to my channel to see such useful videos keep appearing on your feed. And if you have any question about operating a Google Calendar, you can let me know in the comments or email me at the email ID given, so that I can respond back to you. And also stay safe and take care. And if you have any other questions, be sure to let me know, and I will get back to you. Signing off.